opportunity was really cool. And B96, I think the cool thing about B96 also is like, we all grew up on it, right?
Right.
Like my tias were playing that.
Right.
My tia had in the basement parties, you know what I'm saying? So to be able to be on the station and then be like a true representative of the city, you know what I'm saying? Like a true mirror of the city. So it's like, you're not just on B96 and you're watching someone that's not from the city.
No, that was you.
Be a voice, and you're like, no. You get to be that.
Yeah.
And you hear somebody talking, you're like, no, actually, or somebody's like Paulina, and you're like, no, that's Paulina. You know
Paulina.
That's what I'm saying? Like, you get to do that, you know what I mean?
Right.
And so to be that felt really cool, and then, Mom gets to say she's proud of you. Right.
And then you got the DDs and mommy like, you're on the radio.
So I think it was much bigger than that. And then, having gone off B96, you just realize that it's B96 is something that's just, it's like so bigger than you. You know what I'm saying? You were a part of it. You played a part in its history, but B96 is legendary in its own right. So no one can ever take away the fact that I hosted a show on B96. Right. That it was Gabe and Nina on B96.
Those bragging rights right there, Papa.
Go look somewhere. It's there. You know what I'm saying? It feels good to be a part of that. And now still living in Chicago and, obviously seeing it, you're happy for what it is. They're doing a great job. Molly is the new program director. She does an amazing job over there. They got good staff, up and down the dial. So it's good stuff over there.
Hey, what's up? It's Dope Talk podcast where the talk is always real. I'm one of your co-hosts, Jayla.
And how much? How y'all doing?
Hey, so we're here with a very special guest, multimedia host, Gabe Ramirez. Thank you for being here.
Let's do it.
We used to have sound effects too.
Hype me up.
There you go.
You here.
We need a cowbell, dude.
Okay.
We need a cowbell. Go crazy.
Like
we need a cowbell. Yeah.
I like
come
the
on, man. Let's
other
do
sound
cowbell, dude.
to be honest. But thank you for real for taking time out of your busy schedule. We know
Very
you're
busy
busy
schedule.
Out here. You making moves.
I literally came from filming something right now.
I know, and we appreciate you being here, bro. We really do.
Yeah, no, I'm with it. I'm glad you guys were able to accommodate, me coming like an hour late.
Oh, we made it happen though, man. We made it happen.
Yeah. What were you filming?
So I do have clients. That's what I call them now, right?
Okay.
I used to have a job in radio, but now I have clients. And so one of my clients is Meridian Health.
Okay.
And so I was doing a bit for them about, men's mental health.
Like a commercial?
Yeah.
Nice.
Like a little commercial for them. So I pitched the idea that, because we're our own creators.
Yeah.
Right.
That's how we get money. In these other spaces, we have the ideas. Ideas are currency. And my idea was, if we're doing men's mental health, well, damn, let me do the video while I'm getting a cut. While I'm getting,
while you're getting faded.
So I'm talking about
showcasing your daily routine.
Right, exactly. But I'm in the chair talking about men's mental health and how we got to take care of ourselves, and obviously the barbershop, synonymous with that. So I was just, and so what happened was, honestly, I filmed it a week ago. I went to go edit it on Sunday, and I realized halfway through the cut, because I just let it go in one take, the mic went out.
Ah, dang. So you had to reshoot it.
So I had to reshoot it, and they were like, yo, we need that. And I was like, ooh, I got a podcast though. And then I was like, hold on. And I was like, hour later, can I film it? What time you got for me? 6?
Yeah.
Bet, run it.
Cool, we can make it. You made it happen.
Get the job done, right?
Yeah, you made it happen, man.
You got to get the job done.
Yeah, you absolutely right. You got to get the job done. So, is that one of your new ventures as far as just taking? Do you do the editing yourself or?
Yeah. I think just working in media over the years, you learn how to just do that, and you understand that that's a big part of it. And being able to be self-sufficient, right, carries a lot of weight in a situation like this where I'm getting a check from Meridian, right, but I don't got to split it with nobody, right?
Right, it's all you.
I knock it out, and I feel like over the years, when you when you've been doing it for so long, you can knock it out. We all do some Instagram reels. We all do TikToks.
Anyone can learn.
Man, I can't do that for life.
Easy. It's accessible.
I can't do that for the life of me.
You can do it if you put your mind to it, David.
I just think it'd just be too tedious for me. I just after a while I just
there's apps that do it for you, that edit for you.
But we got people in the building doing this. So
let's do it.
Shout out to
Carmen. Shout out Carmen. So I understand. I wouldn't either if I had a Carmen running around.
No, literally.
Yes, if you got Carmen, man, you're in good hands.
Facts.
But so I like doing stuff like that just because you're looking for multiple streams of income, right?
Right.
And when you have a brand that you've built, you get to capitalize off of that, in form of currency from brands that want to utilize your platform.
So let me ask you a question: Did you trademark Gabe from yours or
trademark it? No. I think when you're from Chicago, you can't trademark nothing like that, right? Because people will check you. People are try to clown you. So the only way to trademark your name in real life in Chicago is just to be yourself and
Be yourself
build
and just
brand.
be that. Yeah.
It is that, right? Like that's the super trademark.
Right, the super trademark.
Gabe Ramirez? Yeah, that's your brand.
Yeah, they know it. They know it.
So something like that, yeah.
Yeah, that's what's up, man. So let's get into it. You was born in Chicago, right?
Yep. Born and raised in Chicago. Yeah.
What area?
Well, I was born at St. Joseph because that's what you really got to do, right? What hospital you're born
You were
at.
born in?
Oh, okay, yeah.
Diversity in Lakeshore, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, I was born and grew up right on the north side, just moved around a lot like most families, right? Like every year your lease is up, you out. But, Armitage and Kimball, Armitage and Damon.
Humboldt Park. I see.
Humboldt
Park, Wicker Park.
Armitage and Kimball for a large part of that. But bounced around. Yeah, like I said, just a bunch of north side places. Went to Lane Tech.
How was it growing up for you? Like where you were from the beginning? Were you like already into like the media or?
No. I think, growing up, wait, you mean you're asking me?
Like what did you want to be a host or anything like that when you was
growing
younger?
up? No.
What were you looking
What were
into?
you into?
What were you into?
Growing up?
When you're that age, I think, growing up in that space, and I talk about this a lot, right? Like you're not exposed to many jobs. Right.
Okay,
so when you're young, you really don't even know like how many jobs are out there and available to get money, like real money, right? Like you don't even know,
right?
And so for me, my aunt ended up marrying a dentist. You know what I'm saying? And so she was out in the burbs, and I know he had money.
Yeah,
and I knew when I saw him in the summer, he bought me a pair of shoes, and then so all of a sudden it was
You want to be a dentist?
I want to be a dentist.
straight up. When I graduated from Lane Tech, and I went to SIU initially.
Okay.
My whatever.
Your major? You were
Real
trying to
quick,
make
wasn't even a
SIU
major, but-
Carbondale?
Yeah,
Okay,
Carbondale. Saluki. Shout out to all of them over there. Fatal Fusion, everybody.
Okay.
But when I went out there, it was for pre-dentistry, right? That's what it was initially because I just didn't know anything else other than my uncle had some money and
Right.
that's what I wanted.
That's what you wanted to do,
That's what I
follow the
wanted
money.
to do. Exactly.
Right.
So that's how that whole thing started. So no, there was no like desire to necessarily be in media.
In media?
Yeah. None of that.
And you do it so well now that it's like it was almost like it was already.
I'll give you the perfect segue. You know what? I used to be in a singing group. So I felt like a lot of that stuff was just real natural to me. You know what I'm saying? Like talking in front of audiences, and that didn't faze me. You know what I'm saying? I was in studios all the time. So editing audio was something that came second nature to me.
Yep.
Right.
And then I was writing a lot of my group's songs. So like the executive producer nature of being in a group and rapping, or not rapping, but like writing, you kind of got to like self-edit. So when you get on radio, you're like, "Ooh, okay, wait, that's not right. That's not right. That shouldn't sound like that. This shouldn't sound like
put it
that."
together.
Yeah.
So you kind of just use those skills.
Put it
To
in
use,
perspective more.
Yeah. God will take care of you that way. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
right? Yeah,
He'll give you something, and then you'll think that it's supposed to be something. Then all of a sudden, when you're doing the next thing, and you're like, "Oh wow, I really
You can
needed
use
that."
Needed that to learn that.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly. Those are a lot of the things that I'm actually going through in my life right now. Where it's like,
Likewise.
I've used some of the things that you thought were just meaningless, and it's like, oh, I use it now to run a business, or you know what I'm saying? But it's just-
Yes.
But as long as you acknowledge, that was that. You know what I mean? And
Right.
that way,
Right.
That's
That's
dope.
actually that's part of the journey though. That actually is what makes a lot of the journey fun and fulfilling. As far as like, cause you just like you say, you just look back at some of the things that God put you in before. It's like, he was building me up for this moment right now. You know,
Right, yeah.
It's pretty dope.
You use what you picked up back then when
So
you
then-
feel like it didn't matter the most.
Right.
Right. So then when did you decide to like make that switch?
So my group kind of at the very tail end.
And we're not saying the name of the group. So,
Somebody's gonna be in the comments like, "I know what it is."
where the group at?
But
I'm
yeah.
gonna read them. I'm gonna read them because I want to know.
we were performing at Congress Theater.
Okay.
Right over there. I'm off Milwaukee, and we were opening up for Fat Joe, and our manager at the time didn't show up, and it was a whole revolú getting a manager because there was different people wanting to manage us at the time, right? And so it was like Pitbull's manager wanted to manage us. It was Jeremiah's manager at the time wanted to manage us, and then this Buddy. And so
He didn't show up. It was open field.
we end up going with Buddy. Buddy doesn't show up. It's a big fight within the group. Some other stuff happens. The group kind of just, whatever. And then people were like, "Yo, Gabe, you want to do solo? You want to?" I'm like, "Nah." And then all of a sudden it was like, all right, well, what am I going to do then to get this bread?
Right.
And, I felt very confident that, I could do something in media. And so, yeah, I put, I'm a firm believer in these three things, right? Is makeup, It's create a goal, make a plan, execute. Very simple.
Period.
Exactly.
Very simple, right? So
Huh.
the goal was get on radio, right? And I had to create a plan at that point. And the plan was, I knew I had to get an internship. And at the time, I had only went to SIU for 2 years. So I was like, I got to get an internship. And shout out DJ Moondog.
DJ Moondog?
DJ Moondog. That's another brother you guys should get on this show.
Okay.
For real, like immediately. So he used to be on GCI.
Okay.
For a while. Puerto Rican dude, was in the military. And excuse me, he was the program director at UIC Radio.
Okay.
Okay. So I had registered back up at UIC and I was like, I'm trying to get on the radio show over there. So I became the music director at UIC Radio.
Nice.
Now my degree is in economics. It's not in radio, television.
Completely different.
None of that.
Completely.
I'm a business math nerd, all that stuff like that. But him and I, we did a lot of stuff there at UIC, but that was part of the plan. Get on UIC Radio. And then from there, the super fast of a long story is that I was the Puerto Rican kid that was playing center field, batting third on the B96's softball team before I worked in radio.
Okay.
While I was still doing music.
So you was a ball player.
I'm a ball player. And so then marrying all of those things led me to B96 and then all that
Just
stuff.
getting the connections.
So
to
yeah, it
actually
was like
getting in there.
making the plan after radio, like, bet I like music, I like this. I don't want to wear a suit every day. I used to work in finance. I used to work at H&R Block. I used to do that kind of stuff.
Okay, you was doing the taxes.
Taxes, finances.
Yeah, how much you gonna give me?
All that.
How much you can give me this year, man?
You might have to pay.
We
Bye-bye.
Yeah.
I'm not checking your pockets. Bro.
Oh man, dude.
But immersing yourself in radio, that pretty much makes you more acclimated to podcasting.
Yeah.
It's like it becomes second nature because radio is more professional broadcasting. It's not, you know what I mean?
You would think, right?
Yeah, I would. Personally,
Well,
how you feel?
How do you feel? You've been there.
I'm not saying you would think.
Oh, okay, yeah.
You would think, but it's
It's not like
It's
that.
not?
It's just like this.
I don't know.
Literally, it is just like this. And I think a lot of people, they just can't wrap their mind around what they're doing and how similar it is to what like actual radio shows and what people are doing. It's
Right.
literally this.
So you don't think there's a difference between it because the audience is looking for more factual knowledge? You put on
Like
your
what? Give
journalistic.
me an example
know,
of a radio station that's doing what you're talking about right now.
The station I'm at right now.
Okay. You're talking about a news station.
Yeah, because
You're talking about a
radio,
news station.
radio. But
Right. I thought
think,
you were talking about like talk, like
Like a talk show.
like music format. You know what I mean? Where people are doing morning
no.
shows like that. Okay.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah,
Yeah. Completely
Okay.
different. Yeah. Of course.
That's in terms of that. But that just brought me to the point of like podcasting is probably second nature for you to just hop on any podcast and just like, you could just now you don't even have to have the pressure of knowing facts and knowledge. You get to just talk freely.
Yeah.
It's not about being.
You still gotta kind of be
unbiased.
factual because you're not gonna just be doing
No,
a
you
bunch
do, but
of.
it's more your personality.
who's that?
Free.
You get to show your
But
personality
The internet will
more.
check you. But no, you're
Yeah,
right.
for
You get to be you certainly get to be yourself a lot
Yeah.
more where, when you're on the radio, like the morning show on B96, right? Like you really have to be conscious of what you're talking about.
Yeah,
Right.
Right? Like that your job
Relies
On the line.
on the line, right? Every time you're talking.
For real.
Yeah, because it is. You say something wrong, you're out of there.
Listen, we're like, I'm on CHSN, the new student channel, where the Bulls, Blackhawks, and White Sox play. And like, when I'm doing live TV, don't think that like when somebody else is talking and I'm looking there and I'm looking at the camera, I see the feedback camera, I'm like, damn, this is live, and I'm sitting right here and. What was I gonna say again? Oh,
Yeah.
damn! Wait, and it's my turn to talk, and then it's like, because it's really you have to really be super like on point for that kind of
Focused,
stuff. But like a podcast, you could be like, wait, what was I talking about?
Right. You could just keep it like that. Yeah. it's
No,
easy.
what was I talking about? You know what I mean? Like
Right,
you could
right,
really
right. What was
just,
that? Yeah.
and then like that's fun. It's
Yeah.
natural. That's why I say it's okay to put notes on the
Put
table.
some notes and stuff. You
I
see me reading them, but you
swear.
see me looking at them. So.
Yeah. We on that next episode.
We on that. Because I be trying to hide them and stuff sometimes.
Don't.
I be trying to hide them.
Any guest would rather have you have good questions than like fumbling around, right? Like if you had a purpose, if you prep properly, and you have a plan and how you want the conversation to go,
structure.
any guest is going to want you to go ahead and handle that instead of maybe deviating.
Right, just rambling and stuff.
I mean, rambling's fine, but I'm saying if you prep and have a plan and you got questions,
Right.
pull that out.
Yeah.
You know what
Right,
I'm
and
saying?
keep it
Like
down.
right there. And then when you hit a low point,
You bring it back.
then you can go down to your thing and be like, oh, that's crazy that you did. You know, that was Chicago. That's crazy. That's crazy,
Joe.
Yeah.
Next question.
And your B96, you had your own show. What the Gabe and Nina?
Yeah, it was called Gabe and Nina, and that was cool because you start as an intern, you know what I mean, and then you work your way up to be the morning show host. And if you go look at like, damn, my bad, I'll do it again. And if you just go to just like the history of Chicago radio, like I don't know how many people you're gonna find that went from intern to morning show host.
Not many.
And so like I think it's a big deal, and so to have that opportunity was really cool. And B96, I think the cool thing about B96 also is like we all grew up on it, right?
Right.
Like my tias were playing that.
Right.
My tia had it in the basement parties. You know what I'm saying? So to be able to be on the station and then be like a true representative of the city, you know what I'm saying? Like a true mirror of the city. So it's like you're not just on B96 and you're watching someone that's not from the city.
No, that was you.
Be a voice, and you're like, no. You get to be that.
Yeah.
And you hear somebody talking, you're like, no, actually, or somebody's like Paulina, and you're like, no, that's Paulina. You know
Paulina.
like you get to do that, you know what I mean?
Right.
And so to be that felt really cool, and then mom gets to say she's proud of you, right?
Right.
My son,
And then you got the
radio.
DDs and mommy like, Mijo, you're on the radio.
So I think it was much bigger than that. And then having gone off B96, you just realize that it's B96 is something that's just it's like so bigger than you. You know what I'm saying? You were a part of it. You played a part in its history, but B96 is legendary in its own right. So no one can ever take away the fact that I hosted a show on B96.
Right.
That it was Gabe and Nina on B96.
Those bragging rights right there, Papa.
Go look somewhere. It's there. You know what I'm saying? It feels good to be a part of that. And now still living in Chicago and obviously seeing, you're happy for what it is. They're doing a great job. Molly is the new program director. She does an amazing job over there. They got good staff, up and down the dial. So it's good stuff over there.
And from that point on, B96, have that being such a huge platform for you, how were you able? What kind of discernment did you have to help you decide what was the next step? What was the best fit for you? Because you don't want to put all that work you put in and feel like, damn, next thing I do, I'm taking 3 steps back.
Jay, that's a great
working
question.
a bowling alley or
like
something.
how did you navigate it?
I think a lot of times, right? Like you're super entrepreneurial. You are just known in the 5 minutes that you're a hard worker with the gig that you have and stuff that you do. I think a lot of times we reach that goal. We were talking about goals earlier, right? And we reach that goal, and sometimes it's like the big goal, right? Because you have the small ones,
right?
But then you reach that big goal, and you're like, damn,
what next?
What's next? That's crazy. I can't believe I did that.
Right.
And then you're like, well, what am I going to do now? And sometimes you become stagnant for a little bit.
Okay.
And you start dealing with your emotions like, damn, is this it?
Self-doubt.
Is this my peak?
Is this it? Is this what it was supposed to be?
Yeah.
Do I got to go find another goal? That's crazy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like these are real thoughts. And Eddie from Eddie and Jobo, one of my really great mentors, he always told me when I first got to B96 as an intern, he's like, Gabe, you got to have an exit strategy.
So he already.
So he's like, you cannot be 40 talking about Justin Bieber and Kim K. You know what I'm saying? Like, it'd be weird. You know what I'm saying? So he's like, you got to have an exit strategy. So I always tried to find something that I could do to try to at least lean on. And for me, being from Chicago, I love sports. I grew up in the Jordan era.
Right.
I love the White Sox. I love the Bears.
Right.
And I was talking sports with my fam like anybody else would in the city, right? But now, we were talking about this earlier, I felt like I had been prepared for it because I did so much at B96.
Right.
Now I got the chops ready to go, and now I just got to put it to the sports side. So I started, it was a TV show on Fox called Bears Unleashed.
Okay.
Shout out Mikey O. Shout out Paco Marketing Agency. These are 2 people that if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't even be doing sports, right? Because Mikey O, we all knew Mikey O.
You talking about Mikey O, the one that does
comedian.
the comedian.
Yeah.
The comedic producer, I should say. Put some respect on that man's name. So, and he's funny too. So he was doing an event. Talk about putting people on. He was doing an event for ComEd.
Okay.
And this agency, Paco, they had him doing this thing. It was like at a high school. They're doing some STEM program. And he's like, hey, bro, y'all got me here. Cool. But you should really put Gabe Ramirez on from B96. Like, he's a young dude. He's out here.
Yeah.
You should probably put Buddy on. He said that. I do the event, you know what I'm saying, do well. And then like a month later, that company, Paco, shout out Ozzy, they pitched me for a Bears like marketing campaign to be like their influencer. Now, don't even tell me about it. They like tell me, when they tell me, they had already did it.
Yeah.
Right.
But of course I was going to say no to something.
Right.
Like
Right, of course.
What you gonna do?
so like a year later from that, the Bears started a TV show on Fox. And the Bears, because of what I was doing as an influencer, posting, whatever, they were like, hey, y'all should check out Buddy from B96.
Want him.
Bring him over here.
Put him on the TV show. So I was like the funny, but I knew my stuff.
Right.
So then once I got on the show and I knew my stuff, then other channels like NBC Sports would hit me up.
out.
And they were like, hey, can you come on our show? Because we think you're funny. We think you're this.
Right.
And all of a sudden.
And you're knowledgeable.
And now from Bears Unleashed, I'm doing the Sunday show on Fox that they're asking me to do. And I'm doing that. Now there's some credibility to my sports side of me.
Right.
And so then when things were kind of coming to an end at B96, Mitch Rosen, shout out Mitch Rosen for 670 to score. I had another opportunity to do something in sports, and he was like, don't do that. Just stay here. And so I ended up getting 670 to score and then adding the validity at that point. So that's where the sports just kept on kind of taking off.
Kept building up for you.
Yeah. So finding that exit strategy, from there and kind of capitalizing on it for sure.
Beautiful.
What you think about these Bears, though? What you think about these Bears, though, boy?
Super Bowl? Nah, maybe.
I don't know.
I mean,
sometimes.
I mean, being a Chicago fan, it's kind of depressing sometimes. Too.
Yeah, no, I think we've been losers for so long in so many sports.
I mean, I don't even know how people. I don't think people are gonna know how to act if they do actually.
The city of Chicago will burn down.
Will go crazy.
No, not crazy. Burn down if the Bears won the Super Bowl. Because remember, think about it. Like you're not talking about like the Blackhawks. Okay, this is a Chicago podcast. Like we're not talking about the Blackhawks where it's like a certain segment of Chicago is going to cheer. It's not the Cubs where a certain segment. It's not the Sox where a certain segment. It's not the Bulls where a certain segment. It's
the whole,
literally,
dude.
all 8-9 million of the Chicagoland area, from the Burgh, from Joliet, from
Illinois.
Rockford to Chicago,
everywhere,
from Rockford to Hammond, Indiana, it's all in between. It's gonna burn, bro.
Bro, that's gonna be wild. That's why.
Who's going to work the next day?
Nobody. There's gonna be a whole lot of drunk people outside.
To the ground.
Because I remember the 90 with the Bulls. It was crazy when it was with the Bulls.
Fullerton.
Yeah, Fullerton going crazy.
What? Before they put up the no cruising zone.
Oh,
signs.
no cruising zone. Yeah,
look at Jay. She's looking.
She don't know. She don't know what we're talking about.
Cruising zone on Fullerton. You know Fullerton, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So back in the day, you ride up and down Fullerton. You know what I'm saying? You go from
That's what we did.
Reese Park to Western. You just go up and down
to
the point where they put up signs. When you go down Fullerton right now, you go down Fullerton Avenue.
No cruising.
You look up, it says no cruising zone.
How they know y'all was doing that?
Because that's what people did.
But like
we were cruising.
Listen, dude, that was like
we couldn't jump on Instagram and Facebook and then AOL chat.
Yeah.
You want to
people be outside. Yeah, people be outside.
Okay, yeah, that was out there.
Yeah. You would get on the party line.
Now you out.
You get on the party line and then jump into
That's insane.
I gotta pull out of that. I gotta get out of this conversation.
Gotta get out of here.
Let's shift gears. Let's shift gears real quick.
You don't want to talk about the party line, huh?
I don't even know what that is. I don't even know what that is. You're gonna have to tell her and I. You're gonna have to explain that to us.
Speaking of Chicago sports, though, like, can you give us a quick history lesson on Chicago sports, Chicago teams, events related to sports that kind of helped revolutionize Chicago?
Sure.
Or, like help change the trajectory?
I think Chicago just as a whole, you know what I mean? We are very prideful people, right? Mm-hmm. And I think that extends out to our sports teams. You know, there's a lot of believability in whoever is there, whether it be Justin Fields, Mitch Trubisky, Caleb Williams in the present.
Yeah.
And I think we love them that much. And it comes from having won championships in the past, right? Whether it be the Sox in 05, the Bulls in the 90s, the Bears in 85, at least us for our generation, that's how we view it.
Right.
And so we're constantly chasing that. But also Chicagoans, we kind of embody that loser mentality, right? Where it's like chip on our shoulder mentality.
Too much.
A little too much. I don't want to say loser. That was crazy. But like chip on our shoulder mentality where it's like, damn, people don't believe in us. Mm-hmm. We can do it. And that's how we feel about our sports team. So I think just like that whole dichotomy just kind of exists when it comes to sports and just like the fan base here in Chicago.
Yeah.
It's wild.
I mean, the fan base is there. Like, people are really... Like, they've been losing the Bears for a while, and people still out there.
Diehard fans.
I always say that about the Bulls games, right? Like, people always like, how are the Bulls trash? But they got like the first or second highest attendance in the NBA. That's just crazy, right? Because you think if you're a bad team, people don't show up. But the Bulls have such a lure, right? Like, it's Jordan.
That's always.
And here's the other part of it, right? And the same thing for the Bears. And I think this is a good conversation, right? It's like, if you're from the hood, right? You ain't never been to a Bears game. You ain't never been to a Bulls game, right? If the tickets become available, you go.
You definitely go.
You don't care if they suck.
Right, you sharing.
Just the experience.
I've
alone.
never been there before, or I've only been to one game. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's the trickle down effect when it comes to these tickets. Like, let's say the people that bought them and pay high price, they're there. But now the team sucks, or now that's cold outside and they ain't going. Now it goes to the next person. You know, the bosses, and the managers.
Yeah.
Oh, my boss gave me some tickets, whatever. And if it don't go to them, it's still another level.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right, right.
You know, I'm gonna get it to my employees. I'm gonna get it to
Somebody gonna
and
know.
then it's a level below that.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like who? Just give them to somebody.
Just give them somebody.
Hey,
Yeah,
anybody
at one
want to
point,
go?
I got a bunch of free Sox tickets.
Oh man, they were giving some to Gabe last year. I remember Gabe went crazy on Instagram.
I paid for all those.
Hey, you paid for all of those.
I paid for every single one of those tickets.
So you're a Sox fan then?
I'm a big Sox fan.
Okay.
Yeah, shout out to
down.
Sox.
Okay, I get you. I ain't mad at
Download the CHSN app today. Get a 7-day free trial. I just did
You a
that
Sox
post.
fan?
Huh?
You a Sox fan?
Cubs fan.
Yeah, me
I'm
too.
a Cubs fan.
I'm a Cubs fan.
I'm a
Damn,
Cubs
why you look at me like that, Jay? You can look at me harder.
I just-
Because you know this is
You like, yeah,
Chicago
I'm a Cubs
thing.
fan.
For the people that's
I'm from the
watching,
north side, yeah.
for the people that's watching that are not from Chicago,
Yeah.
it's a thing in
It's a thing.
Chicago. The Cubs and the Sox, it's like it's a rivalry. Like people really get into fist fights, especially crosstown.
get into
You see
it.
the crosstown?
It's
They be
wild.
into
People take it too seriously. I'm not
Yeah,
that
I'm
serious.
not
Yeah, they be
that
acting
yet.
like
It's
I'm
not that
cool.
deep.
You give me a
Never
Sox
that.
fan, I'm cool with that. You know?
Yeah. I'm not gonna attack your personality or character if you're a Cubs fan. No, I actually like what the Cubs do. You know what I'm saying? It's cool to see another team in the town and watch how they do baseball. Right. Like I'm a Sox fan, but it's cool to see firsthand, something like that. And then there's been years where like the Cubs have had an MVP, Chris Bryant, where I'll just go to the ballpark because I like baseball and I want to see the most valuable player in baseball. So you get
right.
opportunities like
Yeah,
that
to see
where
that.
other teams are coming to town where you can see it. So, I mean, I like sports like that. I don't mind, but the rivalry is real. I think people take it too seriously.
Yeah, too serious. I get it. I get it, but it's just like
You're a Scrubs fan, bro. And I'm like, what are you doing, bro? That's wild.
The obsessiveness that comes with being like a sports fanatic. They just
True.
don't know how to let it go, And I learned that just being in news.
Yeah.
Like the sports department, they don't play. You can't walk in. Don't even talk to them if it's not about sports.
Josh Liss is not playing games
Hey,
over
shout
there.
out to him, yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, it is like that, but that's what makes us such a great town.
Yeah, right.
That's what makes Chicago so great when it comes to their sports. They do not play. I mean, listen, when I first got on 670 to score, bruh, you don't think everybody was texting in, being like, "What's up with the B96, buddy?"
talking shit.
This ain't Justin Bieber. Go down the thing. Like,
Oh man, they were like that.
you know how Twitter is. You
Yeah,
know,
of
how
course.
you know that's just like a free reign for people to talk trash. You know what I'm saying? But you spin the whole narrative. You know what I'm saying? Because again, anybody will respect you if you know your stuff. And it's just like, for me, like I like having conversations with people that really do know the Bears, the
Yeah, the
Bulls.
Bears and sports.
Like, because you can have a surface of a conversation with someone, and that's cool. But if I like really talking sports. Like if somebody's like, "Yo, Dalen's here,"
They know stats and know all this.
Right.
or they watch the game.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
right,
Like that.
right.
Right.
They watch
At-
the
at
game.
At the very bare minimum,
at
like, did you
least
see
watch the
yesterday?
game.
They'll be like, yeah, like fourth quarter crazy, right? And they'll be like, wait,
Now they're lost. Yeah, now they're lost. Yeah, now they're lost.
Like, all right.
Now they're
All
lost.
right. So I genuinely love sports, but that came from my dad. I used to watch Bulls games with my pops growing up, man. He just, just every day watching them. And so to me, it was like synonymous. I played basketball at Lane Tech.
Okay.
So, I played basketball, football at Lane Tech. So sports was just something that
That was
Your
you
thing?
in your blood, right?
Yeah.
You played ball there too?
baseball?
Yeah.
So the story goes like this. I was playing, damn, I can't have that. So this is funny. So the story goes, I was playing football. It was my freshman year, playing football. Then I'm playing basketball. And then at Lane, it was a frost-off team.
Okay.
Older stuff, Jay. But it's a frost-off team. Freshmen and sophomores together. And apparently, I had taken somebody's spot on the basketball team who played baseball, who I had also. She was
Taking his
my
spot
girl.
too?
She was my girl.
Oh,
but
you took his girl.
Dang. you
Whoa,
just-
okay.
you just-
So
So he was really mad.
I had gone through hazing in football, because you're a freshman,
you're
you're
freshman,
there,
yeah.
hazing. I did it in football, hazing in basketball, and then I was like, damn, bro, they're gonna have this vendetta after me.
Because you was missing steal your girl. That's what it was.
Literally.
So, but then I said nah, and then I just ended up working out with the football team. So then I didn't play.
You never play ball?
You just-
They had a really good base. Like when I
I
was,
really
when
good
I,
baseball.
yeah,
I
when
probably couldn't have made the baseball team, to be honest with you. They were
had
that
a really good
But I played
baseball.
at Humboldt Park for 10 years.
Oh, what years?
Underhand fast pitch, 08, 07 to like
Okay.
15, 16.
Yeah, I didn't play underhand, but I played I grew up a little league and then we did all the way to 16.
No, I played in the Mian League.
Oh, okay.
I played in, underhand.
Yeah, okay. You play with the viejos. Them viejos can hit, dude. I ain't even gonna lie.
I'm not talking about the old man league on Saturday. I'm talking about the young boys.
Oh,
I'm
the
talking
young
about
one. Okay.
The guys that come from school and
No, okay,
bring
yeah.
pictures in from Minnesota and yeah.
Oh, so you play with Juice in them?
Juice and all that.
Yeah. Shout out Juice, bro. He definitely can play.
So yeah, so I could play baseball, but I could play, but my thing was just like, yeah, I'm straight on
At
that.
the time,
Hard pass.
yeah.
Hard pass.
Yeah. Honestly, it's like you can play baseball until somebody shows up and they're like, yeah, dude, y'all play baseball for real.
I'll tell you my favorite Humboldt Park underhand fast pitch story. So I'm playing, and like I said, I feel like I'm an athlete. Like I said, I play basketball, and football, you know what I'm saying, and I play baseball. So I'll never forget my first year. I'm on third base, or maybe I'm on like second. I get a double or something like that. Somebody gets a base hit, so I'm rounding third to go home, and I get in a rundown, and I'm thinking, like I said, I feel like I'm athletic. I'm that guy. I'm doing my thing.
Yeah.
So I'm in between third and home, and I juke somebody, and then I'm running home, and nobody's in front of me because I juked the catcher.
Right.
And I'm running home thinking like I just
Good.
juked everybody out.
Right.
Yeah.
The third, real Humboldt Park underhand fastball softball players, real
Chase you
players.
down.
He dove, got me,
Damn.
and I'm like, I thought I was good.
Yeah.
Like, I thought I was there.
Yeah.
But these guys are playing for
Yeah,
real.
they playing for real.
So that's not. But yeah, I played. I was decent.
That was what's up, man. That was what's up. What position you play?
Center field. I played a lot of outfield because I could read the ball well. So
Okay.
that was my jam.
I was a hot zone. I like third base. I like
Third
catcher. I
base.
used to
You
play
look like a little third base.
Yeah, you know it.
I don't know if you can hit, but you look like a third base.
Oh, we can hit.
Okay,
we can. I don't know about now. I ain't played baseball in a while, but
You don't go
I'm
to
still
batting
athletic.
cages or anything?
Rusty.
Yeah, I mean, I do batting cage with my kids and stuff
Okay.
here and there. You know what I'm saying? So I'm cool. I'm okay.
You play any sports?
I played basketball in high school.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
What high school did you go to?
I was point guard at Von Steuben.
Oh, damn.
Dang.
Vaughn, slow down.
I don't think I wanna
Vaughn,
do
what was your mascot over there?
A
Panthers?
panther.
Yeah.
Panther, you know
Yeah.
it. Ooh.
I dated a couple girls.
Oh, we was.
Yeah, but it was cool
We ain't had
going to
nothing but a
school
street.
there.
That's what we were. We was Steinman. We was a street. I was
Diamonds. You got Walt
Street.
Disney though, right? Didn't he go
Yeah,
there?
Yeah,
Disney,
Disney.
yeah.
And Hugh Hefner.
Oh, that's what I meant. Hugh
Hugh Hefner, y'all. Hugh Hefner
you
was
go.
in there.
Yeah, it was pretty
Yeah.
good.
I mean,
Mine
you got
was
a couple
okay.
claims to fame over there. Who went to Vaughn? Any famous? Who were like the names that they would say went to Vaughn?
Honestly, I don't remember. I really don't.
You hate
Like
Vaughn? Why do you
was
hate
cool.
Vaughn?
It was. I don't hate Vaun. It was just. It was just a
Why
blur.
do you hate
No.
Chicago?
Vaughn.
Why do you hate Chicago public school education?
No, it was just a blur. Up going to school up north. Just wasn't,
Yeah.
hard to relate to a lot of the students
feel that.
there because I was from Humboldt Park, and so I just, kept myself busy playing sports.
You took the
doing
Kimball bus
extracurriculars.
straight
gonna
up. That's
say,
it.
Yeah, like I
Kimball bus
just
straight
went in,
up.
went out.
Okay.
That's it.
Because I always think like, you know what I'm saying? I always wonder what other high school experiences were like. You know what I mean? Like I went to Lane Tech, people always like, oh, Lane, like they roll your eyes the second you tell them that from, that's such a Chicago question, right? What high school did you
Because
go
we
to?
couldn't get in there. That's why.
Well, I'm
you
talking
had
about-
to take that test, and then I took
yeah,
that test.
that's
They said, "No, sir, you cannot get in here, buddy." Steinmetz, you go.
Lane was the school for all the athletes for sure. If you wanted to become an athlete, if you were hopeful of getting a scholarship, you going to Lane.
And also, see, this is how I know you guys had off-campus lunch.
Yes.
Oh,
That was a big one, dude. We was like, what the hell? Like,
Off-campus
why we can't
lunch?
get no off-campus lunch? And y'all had the Taco Bell next to you guys.
We had it to before
Come
it was the
on, man. You
Popeyes,
had the
it was the
TV.
Taco
They got all the
You had
restaurants.
all that, man.
A
They had all
bowling
that right
alley.
there.
At
McDonald's is
that.
right there. Because the thing was,
You had the sub place too.
Yeah.
Sub place. The sub place was fire.
When it was there.
Oh,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
gone. Oh, right. It is
not
gone.
there
It is
no more.
gone. Yeah.
But the thing is, you had to time all that stuff out properly. But, if you knew somebody, I used to have one of my boys, Sam, he's actually a first producer on Chicago PD, the TV show.
Okay.
So him and I, we went to elementary school together, and then he ended up going to Gordon.
Okay.
And his pops had a place literally right there, like across the street from Taco Bell on the corner of Western and Addison.
Okay.
So then I would take his keys
Ooh, you was doing good.
to use the washroom.
Oh, you didn't want to go. Yeah.
No. I just saying use the washroom. But you got-
We was chilling. We was kicking it.
sometimes I got out of school early, and
We was kicking it. We might have took somebody with you.
I had to use the washroom.
Okay, cool. So it's right now, it's that time. It's that time. We got to pay these
That
bills.
time.
We got to pay these bills. So we'll be right back, big guy. This episode was brought to you by Chucherias Tropical Creations on 2627 West Division, where if you ever had a bunk cake at the Dope Drip Cafe, that's where it comes from. She also has imported coffee grounds straight from La Isla, and her quesitos, fire. Don't check her out, baby.
Hey, we're back with Gabe. Right now, let's get into something else. Let's shift gears real quick about you. First of all, you're very much a valuable person in your industry, sports world. But I saw on your Instagram, by doing my homework, that you hold another valuable role, which is you being a father.
Yeah, I love that.
You know?
Yes. I never wanted kids ever.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I had kids later in life. Never was something that I wanted. But, met my wife and we kind of knew immediately, you know what I'm saying, that we wanted to have kids and I'm glad that we did. And yeah, it's great,
And you're a girl dad.
Girl dad. I left right now the crib. I dropped him off at the house after daycare and work. And then I'm like, all right, Pop's got to go. Poppy, I'm going to miss you. I got 4 and 3, you know what I'm saying? And I'm like, baby girl, I will stay here for the entire night. Do not do that to me. You know what I'm saying? And so yeah, I love being a dad. Yeah.
How do you balance it? Like, as far as you got a lot of things that you do. How do you balance as far as like the dad, the husband, and all these different hats that you wear?
Yeah. I think, somebody once told me, and I was like, man, dude, this parenting thing is hard. And they were like, well, that means you're a good dad. Like, if you think it's hard, you know what I mean? Because it should be, right? And if you don't think it's hard, then you're probably not a good parent.
You're not doing enough.
So initially it was difficult, but I think, the stage of my career that I'm in right now, right, where it's like I've done radio for a very long time, right? I've done TV for a very long time. So it's like I have the freedom to kind of choose what I want to do.
Okay.
And to a certain degree, need a job, need a check, but so my mornings are free is what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying?
That's pretty dope.
I get to take like this morning, I get to take my daughters to daycare, my wife to work. I get, 10 o'clock, I'm on a phone call with a meeting. 12:30, I'm doing a daily phone call with someone else. 2 o'clock, I'm recording with the fire. Boom, then I get to pick them up at 4:30. You know what I'm saying? So I have freedom to do other things.
To move around. So it makes being a dad and balancing it all much easier because I'm around so much more. And I'll be honest, like I watch them for the last 3 or 4 years, I watch them every Tuesday and Thursday. So I would get out of the morning show, go straight to the crib, moms will be there, and then I take the kids for the day, right? So I like being able, if I go 2 days where they're at day, like if I got to do something, like 2 weeks ago, I had to drop them off Monday and Tuesday because I had something to do. Right.
So I didn't have my Tuesday. That will kill the soul. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
If I don't got my babies on my Tuesday and Thursday, so I'm saying like balancing is hard mentally because I need my girls because I've been doing it so much now.
Right.
It's part of my daily routine.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Being with them. So now if I don't got them, like, or you know what I really think about? Now I'm sure we can all relate to this to a certain degree. I think about my OG. Right. Like she came to my daughter's swim class on Sunday. Damn near, you could see it in her face. And she was like, you guys, should feel very grateful that you get to do things like this. Take the girls to this because I was always working. My mom would leave the crib at 8 a.m, get home 8 o'clock at night.
Right.
Taking the bus to the crib.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, then I think back to that time and I'm like, damn, OG really was not around for all them years. I didn't feel that way because I'm shorty and that's just what it was.
Yeah.
But now that I'm an adult with kids, you're like, damn. Like our parents really were out there grinding, working, doing their thing every day. You really didn't see each other.
They didn't see it, and then it was like we took it for granted too. On top of that, because it was like they did that to make sure that we had a better living situation. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, and you're right because that as you get older, you start realizing like, damn, you know what I'm saying? Like, man, I got to be more grateful. You know what I'm saying to the OG and all that. You know, but that's some of my goals now. Where it's like I try to repay my mom by not just like money, it's just like by just actions, just by her being proud of me.
Of course.
And you know what I'm saying? Just
the best thing you could do.
Yeah, simple things like that. And it's like my mom is a better place in life because I know she was always just, especially me running wild in the streets, she couldn't sleep right. So it's just like just making sure she's cool. And that's
something easy, right?
Yeah, something man. You know what I'm saying? Worst thing she got to worry is about me cutting myself or something, something like that.
Or you calling her, telling her to watch the kids.
Watch the kids for real.
What do you want? What day?
You really showcase that love that you have for your girls.
Thank you.
it was very noticeable, and it's a beautiful thing that you know how confidently you showcase that, how proud you are to be a father, and you know, a girl's life. You know, a lot of people out here don't have
That's real.
father figures to help guide them or give them a sense of direction. A lot of broken homes out here, so
Right.
it's amazing, very amazing.
My my real father, right, like my biological dad, he passed away like a year ago, or I don't even know how long ago, whatever it was. I didn't have a relationship with him, right? But I think about my sister, right? So he left the crib when I was 3, and so my sister was 7. You know what I'm saying? And so having daughters, I think back to my sister, you know what I'm saying, growing up with him till 7, and then not having pops after that. And then I think about my daughters right now. You see the videos. You're talking about how beautiful it looks.
Yeah.
And I think about my sister having gone through that. You know what I'm saying? And then somebody dipping, and I'm like, wow.
Man.
Like, I think about my daughters, and I'm like,
That'll never happen.
I will never.
Right.
I can't. I just told you I couldn't go 2 days without seeing. You know what I'm saying? Like, not seeing them forever, like that. And so I think that holds true in my heart for a lot of things, and how I showcase my love and how I want to just overwhelm them with it, to let
That's
them know,
what's up,
like,
man.
this is what it is. You know what I'm
deserve
saying? We here. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're going to get this love. And I tell them, Poppy needs some cuddles.
Yeah.
Straight up.
No, because honestly, them rough days sometimes it's just like,
Right.
see, like my baby's 3, so it's like that be the only one that could just heal me sometimes. You know,
her
be going through some
innocence.
things where it's like
Come here, baby.
nobody understands. Come over here, baby.
Or even just the content from the thigh, right?
Yeah,
The
they got
body.
it. They got
Come
it.
over here. You're like, come here. You know what I'm saying? They lay on you. It is. There's nothing really like it. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Like my daughter, she says, "Kello, give me Kello."
You're right.
That's my Kello right there. Give me my Kello.
I'll fake like I got a hamstring injury. You know what
Oh
I'm saying?
man, get the free rubs.
Papi, what's wrong, Papi? You need water, Papi? I'm like, I don't know what's going on. They're like, my mommy, Papi's. Yeah, I'll be like,
That's
Yeah,
so
got
I'm
him.
milking that. I'm milking that.
That's so cute. You mind describing like your parenting style? You don't gotta be too deep. Just like
Yeah.
on the surface.
No, I watch a lot of videos because I want to do things the right way, and I feel like there's so much information out there on how to parent and how to do things well. So I'm just super conscious of everything. Now, don't get me wrong, right? I'm stern. You know what I mean? Because I do feel like a male's role in the child's life is very important.
Very important.
Right.
Because like I see my wife, and like my wife will be like, "Hey, it's time to brush your teeth." My little one will be like, "No," and she'll be like, "Come on now, we gotta go." And I'll be like, "Hey," because
do
I'll
it.
be in the living room.
Right.
No, I'll be like, "Hey, come here." What are you doing talking to your mom? You know what I'm saying? Like, 'cause she's not gonna say it.
Yeah.
I gotta say it. And she'll be like, "Oh, Bob," I'm like, "No, I'm not mad at you." Right? Gotta validate that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not mad at you. I was like, it's about how we talk to her. That's how we talk to mommy. Mommy loves you, don't right? Mommy loves you, right? Yeah. Okay. All right. Then we know, okay, Poppy. Mommy, I'm sorry. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
letting them know. And I also do this one thing that I really love, which is I definitely allow my daughter to be mad, but in only one form, and that's stomping. Right?
Oh, so she can stomp it out.
You can stomp anything you want. Stomp 20 times, 50 times. I don't care. But what you're not going to do, whine. You're not going to be loud. You're not going to, not in my house.
right.
You want to stomp, fit loud,
Yeah.
strong. You want to walk away stomping. I don't care because now I understand you're angry.
Right.
And you're letting it
This
out.
is how
somehow.
you can do it, right?
Yeah.
But this is how you can do it.
Yeah.
And she's cool with it because she loves it, right? Because you get to make a lot of
So
noise.
she's sitting there, boom, boom, boom.
You know she is. You know she is. You're going to know I'm mad. Baby girl.
She doing
I
a
hear it.
cucaracha dance.
I want you to hear it. Right. But you got to give them the outlet. So I think for
Right.
me, it's about letting kids definitely be themselves. I've been learning this one lately too about, they say you shouldn't be like, oh, you're so smart or you're so strong. You should. So my baby girl's been working on this video game, SpongeBob game. So she plays it and it like does this bouncing up thing. So at the end, you're not supposed to be like, what a great job. You're supposed to say, how did it feel to finish that level? Right? Because you're putting it back on them now.
Right.
And you're saying,
Okay.
how did you feel doing that?
Right.
And how did you feel accomplishing that instead of, oh, you're so smart. Thank you. 'Cause
Yeah.
now they put that pressure in their head that they always have to
do
be
that.
that. I always have to be smart. And then they become coy when they don't. And then, so
Yeah.
you want to just encourage them like, hey, that took a lot of hard work to get up there, huh?
Yeah.
Right, and then actually have them talk about it. Actually,
Right.
almost like an exercise to do it
Yes.
again.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah,
That
that's
was
actually
tough.
pretty good.
And then when they fail, they understand that it just takes a little more work and a little bit more practice as opposed to, oh, I failed. right? It's like, oh no, this one's hard.
That's
I gotta
phenomenal.
do this. Yeah.
It's
Actually
like
dope.
it's reconstructive thinking. You know.
Yeah, it's actually really dope.
Yeah.
Did you like teach yourself that throughout your life?
No.
Or was
Like I
it
said,
passed
TikTok.
on to you?
I'll tell you, bro, you be doom scrolling, but you'll find some
Yeah,
stuff.
Yeah.
You'll find some good stuff. It don't
Yeah.
always got to be, whatever you watch.
Right.
Cooking with Kaya or whatever. It could be, it could be something else. You know what I'm saying?
I'm about to start one cooking with March.
Yeah.
Cooking with
I don't know how many viewers you get, man.
Oh, we get it cracking, bro. I'm gonna get it cracking, dog. Cooking with
Yeah, you
March.
gotta do it.
Yeah.
Wait, low key, I'm disappointed ain't no food here. What's up with that?
Man.
Man, bro.
No.
That's-
Let me say a couple things. How you gonna invite me? Let me look in the camera. How is he gonna invite me to the Dope Drip podcast and ain't no dope drip comida
Damofongo.
right here?
Need to be
There's
over
not even
here.
there ain't a drip of food.
Oh man, bro, how you gonna put me out there though like this?
Starving, G. I just told y'all to run
bro.
around
Right,
with
you just
video
came from
shoots.
somewhere.
I'm thinking for sure there's gonna be something here that I could eat. This man got me
Man,
water.
maybe
That's
we
what I
should start
got.
doing that. Man, damn, I'm
Maybe.
sorry.
It's
Maybe.
Yeah, we should start
more
doing that.
hospitable. Yeah.
I'm sorry about that. Sorry about that. Point taken. And we're gonna bring you back. We're gonna bring you back just to
welcome
feed
to the
you.
McDonald's podcast. We ain't got nothing here for you though. We ain't got no
That's
hamburgers.
crazy.
We got
you
no
doing
french fries. We ain't got no.
That's what you
What are we doing?
Man, you taking shots, dog.
Garrett's Popcorn Podcast. We got
Nothing.
no caramel.
Just
We
water.
got no cheese. Got some water for you though. Huh?
Bro, because it's like if we feed you, you gonna get the itis. And then we just sitting here like this. How you doing?
That's marketing right here. Some little foods.
Something we
You're absolutely right.
know.
You're absolutely right, though. You are absolutely right.
I told you I'm the
Carmen, like,
consultant for the fire. I'm the consultant you right now. This podcast. Not even nothing.
Man, no, but getting back to that, though.
Plop it on his side.
Oh man, I know he's dead serious. My bad, bro. My bad.
I got you.
I got you. All you gotta do, look. You already came by the downtown joint. Come down. I got you. I'm make sure my guy.
I got you.
No, hey, but getting back to that though, honestly, like that's another point. Like as far as you being from Chicago, on top of that, I've always seen you show mad love to like at least like the small, small businesses and all that.
Always.
And it's like even with us when we first just started, when we were out of the hatchery, you was one of the first people that came over there, pulled up, had a nice,
Really?
huge
Yeah.
meal. You know what I'm saying? It was just like, and that was love. So it's like, is that something that you try to do like on purpose, or is it just
No, not at all. I think that, I always feel like what I do, right? Like my job in media, like whatever my career, it's everybody got the same grind.
right?
You know what I'm saying?
Just different hustle.
It's just a different game that we playing, right?
Yeah.
So for me, it's like if I see someone putting in effort and I feel like there are similarities, right? Like you're like for you, it was easy because I felt like we spoke the same, right? Like I feel like a lot of times it's difficult to find, Latinos that are second gen or first gen, but they're assimilated they're assimilated to American culture. But also, Chicago specifically, where we are influenced by a lot of Black culture, and influenced by a lot of Mexican culture. There's different cultures that we are exposed to, Chinese culture, and so I think when I see somebody doing something, I'm like, yeah, I rock with that because I see him, he's grinding, Puerto Rican food. I stayed on the block. Like, what am I gonna do? Not show love? Like, they're not. You're a fool. You're. What are you doing? What are you doing? If you're not, if I see you and I don't go, what am I doing? You know.
And it's like, man, thanks to people like yourself, is like, man, we're as far as we done got, as far as like, you know what I'm saying? Because I remember, like, even talking to you right now, I just remember how small and how tight knit we was when the first time you came around. Where it was. I felt like
I pulled into the back alley of a thing.
Right, because it was like we were
like, what door is this man coming out of?
we were in a ghost kitchen,
like,
just, you know what I'm saying? We were in a ghost kitchen. We were just trying to make it happen, to be honest with you. And that's honestly like that's even the point of this show is like, as far as like those people that are grinding, where it's like nobody's seeing you, and it's like, you know what I'm saying? That's really like the drive what I have, because I know where I came from, and I know how when I was in that kitchen by myself, like sweating bullets, like and it's like, to look back and then just to see how far you came is like, man,
I mean, the grind never stops. You're always doing it,
and we definitely trying to get it there even more. You know what I'm saying?
Locked in.
Yeah. I'm definitely trying to go co-host at the Chicago Fire.
You know what I'm saying? We got microphones, bro. We out there.
Let's do it.
They got a match coming up. Fire doing well. You got to shout out the team.
Yeah.
They're having one of their best starts that they've had in a lot of years. They scored 12 goals in the first 5 matches, the most ever.
Okay.
In team history, which is a lot. So they're coming home after a 3-game road trip, winning all 3 games. They got a big match this Saturday. I'll be there hosting. But, the Chicago Fire is a gig that when I got it initially, I thought I was pulling one over on them. You know what I'm saying? And then being there now this is my 3rd season, I've gained so much more from them than I could have even imagined, right? Because when I first got the gig, and nobody cares if I tell the story, when I first got the gig, I was still at B96, and they were like, hey, we never had a host before. They were like, what's up? And I know some people that host for sports teams, and I know what the pay is, and they're like, nah.
Not it.
The numbers ain't going.
Yeah, not worth it.
Ain't gonna
match.
match.
You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of times people see you act like this, and then they think they could just hit you with a couple bucks, and you're like, man, bro, I'm not leaving the crib for X amount of dollars. You know what I'm saying? So like, you got it. You're not even moving.
Because you give yourself some value.
Yeah.
You're not even moving the needle. So I told them that. I was like, look, bro, you really want me to do this? This is the number it's got to be.
Right.
And I'm not gonna say this last.
That was something good.
I got something else in my contract that's not.
Yeah,
I'll tell y'all out there.
That's some good.
So I was like, this is what it's got to be. And so here's another thing. My whole career since 2008, I negotiate every single contract that I have. As I mentioned, my degree's in economics. All you gotta do is just read contracts. Nobody does. I negotiate everything. People like Lawrence Holmes, people like Jay Nice, people like I've helped them with their contracts and get certain things, because here's a gem for you that everybody that's out there that's negotiating, if they ain't talking dollars, right? They ain't talking dollars, you can get non-monetary items, right? And what that means is if they're like, nah, we can't give you this extra $10K for this gig, and you're like, bet, well, Fridays I want to leave at 12.
Right. So now you're negotiating.
You can get other things.
Structures,
Bet, I want a parking spot up front. I want to work from home on Mondays and Wednesdays. These are things that don't cost them $1, right?
Yeah.
That you can still get and negotiate. Things that make you feel good about yourself.
Yeah.
Bet,
Right.
you don't want to pay me the $10K. Well, this is what I want to get anyway.
Right.
So that was just a little nugget.
You can't even accommodate that. You BSing out here. That's
We ain't lining up. Then. This is
Yeah,
not what
but
it
that's
is.
actually really good. Though.
Super
Yeah, that's
everything.
real good, because a lot of people I don't even know about that.
I get 4 tickets. I get 4 tickets to every match. I get
Let's
my parking.
do it.
I get my clothes. I get my. You know what I'm saying?
Let's do it. Yeah, yeah.
I'll never forget. Fire don't care. This is publicity for them. The Messi match when he was first coming.
Yeah.
They were like, hey, bro, nobody can get no tickets because these tickets are going crazy, right? And they were like, oh, I'm sorry, 2 tickets. And I was like,
that's part of my
and I hit him up,
contract.
and I was like, I hate to be this guy.
But you know what we you know what we do.
Per my contract.
Per my contract.
But you do those things for that anyway. Fire ends up being a good gig. They pay me the money. I go there. I'm thinking I'm collecting the bag. But when I get there, you quickly realize that the Fire's fan base is real Chicago. Right? Real Latinos that have been listening to B96. Real Polish people that have been on the Northwest side rocking with everybody.
Right.
You dig what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then it's also sports fans of the parents of the kids that listen to you on the Score, that see you on Fox.
Yeah.
So when I got there, where I thought I was just hosting,
Right.
it was like a love fest, because you realize these were all your people.
yeah.
Right.
So then the team itself was like, at the time they didn't have recognizable names, and they were like, hey, when I go places, they had a new president, David Baldwin, shout out him for the Chicago Fire. He's like, hey, bro, when I go places and I tell people about my players, they don't know them, but they know you. Because he's brand new in the city.
Right.
He's like, bro, everywhere I go,
They know you.
The CMO, Chief Marketing Officer Dan Moriarty, shout out him. He just told me, he's like, bro, I went to the barbershop to go get my kid a haircut. I told him I work with the Fire. Everybody at the shop was like, oh, damn, Gabe.
Gabe was over there.
That they all rock with me.
Yeah, right.
And he's like, and then I went somewhere else. I had to show this dude pictures of you in my phone, because so they were like, we find value in you. We want you to be more a part of the club.
Right.
So then I became the consultant
So
/ host, where we worked out a contract where I helped them out during the season.
and you worked that out yourself.
Wow.
100%.
Let's do it.
I'll tell you the number.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's
Well,
do
you
it.
do that, right? You do that. So
Yeah.
now I help them out with things. I do events. I do ribbon cuttings. I do a little video here. I do something else. But now I'm synonymous with the team, right? I want to watch them grow. They just built a $100 million complex on Ashland and Roosevelt. You know, you're doing these things with the team. You grow with them, and then your brand gets to grow. And then what happens as a result of working hard, putting forth all the effort? They come up with a TV show and they say, hey, we want you to host it. And so now hosting Inside the Fire every other Wednesday on the Marquee Sports Network, Gabe Ramirez, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, it grows. That's
Yeah, it
like I
grows.
said, this gig that I was like trying to flex on them. Like, nah,
Yeah.
I don't even want to do this. Now it's blossomed into something big. But it's just a reminder, like, sometimes you got to get something and then just, you always go 100.
Right.
Yeah.
Always. It don't matter. It don't matter.
Yeah,
if you pull
no matter
if
how-
you're getting the bag, you didn't
Yeah.
get the bag, because it all works out in the end, where if you just keep doing it no matter what, something's going to come as a result of that.
Right.
You
No
know?
matter how small
know
you think
what
your role
it
is,
will turn
like,
into.
no matter how
Always.
small you think your role is, like you work hard for it. You'll
World
definitely
Cup's
get
around the corner. You don't think I'm trying to parlay that?
Let's
I've
do it.
done
You gonna
things
be
for
in
US
there.
soccer. I've done things. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
it's like you're trying to, whatever it is. It doesn't matter what it is. It's whatever it is. You're just doing it and hoping that it snowballs in something else. Because if there's one thing I learned from this business,
Yeah.
is that always happens, right? You always be good to everybody. Be a good person. That's the number one thing I tell everybody. I just did career day Friday, Hamline Elementary on the South Side, 47th Street. And I'm like, they're like, what's the number one characteristic? I said, be a good person. Something you can do right now.
Yep.
Right.
I said, when you go to that door, hold it open for somebody. If somebody's bullying somebody, tell them don't do it. Somebody needs a pencil, give it to them. Paper, give it to them. Whatever. It doesn't
Right.
cost you nothing.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
Nothing.
Your
But be a
kindness,
good
yeah.
person.
Yeah.
Because
go.
you want to know why. And you guys know this. Somebody's going to hire you again to do catering. Why? Because you were a good person.
Because you're a good
Yep.
person and you went
Alone,
above and
yeah.
beyond.
Because you're a good person.
Let's do it.
Food might not saying yours in particular.
Yeah.
I'm saying, but another, I don't never necessarily feel I got the best radio voice.
Right.
I don't necessarily feel like I'm the funniest person in the world. Right. But people rock with me.
Yeah.
They want it. They because they know I'm
you're
good
genuine,
people,
yeah.
and I'm gonna make your job easier. I'm gonna make his job easier. That person's job easier, and I'm gonna be good. I'm good business.
Not only that too, it's like you're Chicago rooted. That's like where for real, it's like
Check this
you know, it's like man, Gabe from Chicago. Gabe, you gonna catch Gabe at the
Check it.
barbershop. You gonna catch him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I was at Cafe Cola earlier today. Melissa Dupre. You know who she is? You should get her on the
Yeah.
show. I'm pulling in with my cousin. We're just rolling the block in Humboldt. We go to Cafe Cola. She's in there. She's like, my God. I'm like, oh, God.
Here we go.
That's how it is. You're going to see me on the block every day.
Yeah.
When people,
Yeah.
I'm at like so much shit on there. Like, people, I'll be in there getting my sandwich. People like, what are you doing here? I'll be like, what are you doing here? I'm in these streets. What are you
Right,
doing?
Yeah.
right. That's what's up, man.
Yeah.
That's definitely what's up, man.
Seem very, very genuine. You have a strong personality.
That I do.
Great for hosting, obviously. So you did host something at Lala. Out
Yeah.
of curiosity, I just want to know about that experience.
Yeah, Lala was dope, man. We talk about, just being a good person. And I really like sharing these stories because a lot of times people feel like it's like you go from 0 to 100, right? And it's not that. You were talking about how small the kitchen was and how much it's grown. Now you
Right.
got to, like, it's crazy, right?
Right.
But you got to go do that first. So for me, it started as crazy. Shout out Sylvia from Herradura and Jack Daniels. There was like that festival on the South Side, like a beach festival a couple years ago, whatever it was.
On 31st?
Yeah. No.
You don't talk about the beach
Yeah,
one?
I know which one you're talking
Yeah,
about.
yeah.
Man be at the beach. No.
Yeah.
This was like Southside, but it was like a reggaeton festival. Anyway, so she worked for Jack Daniels, had me do an activation for her, did it, got the bread for the weekend, whatever. Then all of a sudden, Sueños is happening, and Red Bull is doing an event, and they call up, like this video company calls up Sylvia, and they're like, wait, I got to backtrack. Mad Jazz, he's a dope DJ in Chicago.
Okay.
Sylvia calls Mad Jazz and say, who should host the Jack Daniels event? So it starts with Mad Jazz. Shout out Mad Jazz, bro. That's the dude.
Yeah.
He tells her you should get Gabe. I do Jack Daniels, right?
Right.
Sueños happens. Somebody calls Sylvia, who
Right.
was in charge of Jack Daniels, and says, hey, I'm doing this Red Bull thing. I need a producer. Who should I get? She says, this guy's a host, but he's really good. You should get him. His name's Gabe Ramirez. So I go to do Red Bull, and I produce. Not on camera, not on the mic, not anything. But what did I just tell you guys? And it's the same thing happened. Charlie from Thatch will tell you the story. He called me up. He's like, we want you to do this gig. I said, I am not leaving my house.
For X amount of dollars. Right.
I know you got me producing, but I don't care. This is my prayer. Man calls you back. Bet, this is your rate. You got it.
We got you.
Didn't know dude, nothing. But he called Sylvia. Sylvia told him. What do? I'm on Fox. I'm on TV. I'm on radio. Didn't tell
saying.
anybody anything. I'm out there.
Right.
My job is to produce.
Right.
I knock it out the park.
Right.
Buddy comes from Thatch and he's like, hey, at the end of Sueños, he's like, hey, you didn't tell me you were on the radio here? And I'm like, yeah, B96.
Right.
He's like, dude, you're Gabe from B96. Yeah. Why didn't you tell me that? I'm like, I'm not. That's not. You haven't. You met my rate.
Right.
Right. That's it. That's
I'm
it.
here. I'm grinding it out. What's
Yeah.
up?
Yeah.
And he's like, bro, I produce Lollapalooza. He's like, I think we could use you for something like this. He's like, watch this. And that was, Sueños is in May. Lala's in August.
Yes.
Right.
So in those
Literally
3
right
months,
after.
and I produced for him. Remember, he didn't see me get behind the mic.
Do nothing.
Didn't see me do
Right.
nothing. Puts his name out there. Says, "This is the dude you want to get." Bet I'm on Lollapalooza hosting the whole weekend.
That was through Hulu too, right?
Through
You guys
Hulu.
were
I was on Hulu all
On
weekend.
Hulu.
All weekend long doing
Yeah.
it. Adding the little Chicago flair. I did a
Yeah.
thing at Papa Cache.
Papa Cache.
I did a little vignette from Lollapalooza for there. Then I did the helado de coco shop.
You talking about
Bella's.
yep.
Bella's. I did that one this year because they had us back. And then, I can't talk about what's, but yeah, we're looking good.
Man, we're gonna
So
need
you
you at
was
the dojo,
hosting,
dog.
like
So hosting it, yeah.
interviewing
Interviewing all the artists, doing backstage, crazy, and then it's a
Behind the scenes
super dope
stuff,
flex
yeah.
because we got our stage, right? You know what I'm saying? We're on stage, and
Yeah.
then you see like your radio people from Chicago that they think they're the shit.
Right.
And curse.
Yeah,
I'm not
you
gonna want
can-
to curse,
yeah,
but
you need-
they think that
They the shit.
everybody got an ego in media,
Right,
you know what I'm
of
saying?
course.
Yeah.
To a certain degree. And so, but I remember going there, and they're all just like looking at me because at the time I wasn't on,
Yeah.
like almost like, what are you doing here?
Right.
Because this is Chicago Radio Row
Right.
thing. Like, what are you doing here? I'm like, I'm on Hulu, just doing
You
That's
doing your
it.
thing.
baby flex.
Yeah, baby flex. Like, I ain't doing
like,
that. Just on Hulu. Just on Hulu, you know. Just
No, but shout out Charlie, man. Shout out to the whole C3 family and everybody that takes care of me over there because that's a blessing. It's really cool again to be a mirror for Chicago, right?
Right.
Like you get to be a representative for the city, and like you were saying, like who's gonna not to say it like that, but like when you're from Chicago, you really do say like who's gonna question that you're from Chicago when you
Right.
Like it's not like I'm not, you know what I'm saying? So
Yeah,
it's like
right.
who's gonna really be like Gabe? Like Gabe, what? Say it. So like when you get to be in these roles and you get to say, hey, no, we're gonna do a vignette in Puerto Rico. Or
Right.
in Paseo Boricua.
Paseo
You know what I'm saying? Like we're gonna do a vignette there. And they're like,
Right.
okay. You know what I'm saying? The second year, talk about being a producer, T Murph, I brought him to the broadcast. So, you get more bread as a producer. So they add that onto your rate. So it's like you gotta be
gotta strategize.
everything,
Yeah.
bro. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to do it all. Hulu, whatever you need me to do.
Right, right.
Hulu, dope,
Right.
bro. Like,
yeah,
let's
yeah,
get it.
no, I
Let's
get it.
You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah, that's the grind right there. That's the grind.
Because you never know what it's gonna be.
Right, and what it could lead to.
Ever.
What it could lead to. Just
Ever.
like you took little opportunities and turned them into bigger.
Be a good person.
Huge.
Yeah.
When the opportunity presents itself, just smash it. You know, what I'm saying?
Smash it and do the best job you can.
Right.
Best job and be easy to work with, bro. I'm telling you,
Yeah.
man. All the young people out there want to get into radio, TV. Be easy to work with. Do not be a diva. Do not make things harder for people. You got to be out here,
Right.
being self-sufficient, handling business because nobody wants to work with. Everybody's trying to. We're all trying to get a job done, right?
Right.
Like whatever it is.
Right.
Catering, you know what I'm saying?
Catering.
Life. We're trying to get
Yeah.
this thing done. And so it's like if you're making that more difficult, I don't want to work with you.
Right, exactly.
But if we're all working together and we're all, okay, you might not have showed up today, but you got the job done because you stood a couple extra
Yeah, a couple
hours.
extra- yeah.
Whatever it is, as long as you got it done, you know what I'm saying? And then be a good person at the end.
That's what's up. But sometimes you
Right.
need to put the little structure in there sometimes, you know?
Yeah, so
look-
you work with a team. It's different. I'm solo. I'm dolo.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So it's
my
like
own brand.
you're on your own. So
Literally,
yeah, so it's like, you gonna put your
Right.
best foot forward at all. But it's like even that too, like you gotta be a good leader. Like, because I know people in the industry where it's like, oh, why can't I retain my employees? Most of my employees been with me for about 3 years almost already. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But it's just like, because at the end of the day, it's like, my motto is always like, I lead by example. So it's like, I'm not going to tell you something that I ain't done. You know what I'm saying? Or I'll do it for you first. You know what I'm saying? To show you,
Right.
you know? And then
And how many employees you got?
I got 10 now. We're at 10. And it was like, dude, when you pulled up on me the first time, it was me and my little brother. That was it, dude. Whipping it up, man,
Yeah.
trying our best. But by the grace of God, man, just like you said, hard work, and
sir.
we just kept it going. And then we need to do the vignette at the dojo. Now we have we have the downtown location now.
Hey. How does that feel, walking into that food hall and seeing your creation there?
Man, sometimes it still feels surreal. Like sometimes where it's like, like you say, it's like humbly, I'm humble. So it's just like, I be thinking like, man, I don't deserve this.
But what about when you see like 6 people in line?
It's almost like, dude, it's like sometimes I still feel like when I first started, where I'm still looking at to see the approval. Like, is it
Right.
good? Is it you know what I'm saying? Because that's just the passion that I really tried to shoot for. You know what I'm saying? Where it's like, I know I'm not the best, but I'm just trying my best.
Yeah.
And I try to perfect it every time. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like that's gonna give me the longevity that I'm looking for.
Yeah. People love that kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? They just want to see the work ethic and how things play out. But they love
Right.
supporting it too.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's the people. There's always haters in the background. That we know for
You
sure.
can't see him. You can't see him.
But
Well,
you know what I'm saying? But
when
there's,
you focus, you can't see him.
they don't even, they're not on the same wavelength.
Yeah,
Not at
just
all.
keep going.
But
man.
they exist, and that's cool.
Yeah,
but you know, everybody else, they really are supporting and trying to see you shine, right? Because they're like you said, we're saying earlier about the moms, right? Like it's not just the moms, it's your friends, it's your family, it's people that support you, right? That they want to see you succeed as well, myself included. You know what I'm saying? Like if I go eat your food and I go tell somebody, yeah, I know Buddy, or hey, check out the shop downtown, and the more you grow, the more it looks good on us, right? And I think Chicago operates like that, right? Like, where it's like we support you, and then if you keep making us look good, we're gonna support you even harder, right? Because then before it was, man, I went there one time, yeah, that's my guy, bro. You gotta go over there. What you mean? He just opened up over here. You know what I'm saying? Now the coastline becomes stronger and stronger.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Exactly. Now I got you on a podcast in here, man.
yeah, look at that. Look at
giving
that.
us the gem, man. Giving us really the gem. I appreciate that, man. For real.
No doubt.
Like for real. Like back to even that. Like as a small business owner in Chicago, and like I got to give you your flowers right now where we at. Where as far as like, you know, always at least like even right now, you came in here and you name dropped 1 million small businesses that I know. And that's really like, you know, you did that strategically too, because it was just the way that you wired to Chicago. As like, you know, you at least trying to let us all shine. Like, and I tip my hat to you, big man, for that.
Man. Yeah. Chicago's a crazy place.
Yeah. This was such a dope talk, y'all.
Dope talk, you know it.
See what you did there.
No, but we do gotta.
Jayla, you gotta give them. What was in your questions, man? You got Gabe here, so you always gotta give that any question. What's any question? Yeah, outside the topic or something like that.
Honestly, this is just a question me out of curiosity.
Sure.
You see yourself doing TV or movies? You like a little cameo in something? You know?
I like money, so I mean, whatever.
Let's do it.
Whatever.
If the opportunity presents itself, it's paying right. Why not do it?
Yeah, I'll say this, right? TV is much easier than radio. You know, radio
is it
really?
Like it's not even close. Like it's not close. Look. When you go, if I'm doing, you know, 670 to score, you're talking for 30 minutes straight. Like sometimes by yourself. Like I've done 30 minutes, you know, I'm doing 3-hour shows by myself.
And let me ask, do you write it down or you just straight?
No, off the dome. Just
coming
up
keep
with
going.
whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's the difficult part, right? And then if you go to pop radio, right, with like all the shows that I've been on, it's like situations like this where it's live, but you're live. You're talking to millions of people.
People are watching and all
people are everything. So you're talking. So you have to learn how to pick things up when somebody drops it. Like I know how to ask a question. Like when I threw the question just a second ago back on you,
right.
And I was like, "What is it like when because you feel a lull. You know when to ask a question to pick up on things." And so when you go to TV, right, everything's scripted.
Very much so.
So you already know what you got to do.
I know the questions that they're gonna ask.
Yeah.
I know the questions. So like when you see me on TV, when they're like, "Gabe, what's up?
You already know it's coming. You already know it's coming.
Oh man, it's a tough one. Well, I guess I would have said, and then I went and I went and did my research. You know what I'm saying? Study for the test, and then I got my I keep my piece of paper on the table. So I got my notes right there. So when somebody's talking, I just look down what I was gonna say. That's right. Okay, I was gonna say that. Yeah, and then I forget, and then I'm like, oh damn, wait, no, okay, yeah. And then when it comes to me, I'm like tidbit.
Yeah.
Statement. Back to you.
Gone back, push it right back.
And we done. Like it is done. So TV is so much easier than radio. But I think, you know, that's really truly why I excel at television, why people enjoy me in their spaces is because I am not a sports reporter that's only read a teleprompter. Right.
Yeah.
I can do more than that.
You can improvise immediately.
My jokes can come fast. I know how to segue. I can ask a question back to you. So those are the small skills that TV producers love because then they don't have to deal with it.
Right.
Or like if somebody's in your ear, like, I said the wrong thing, you got to change this, and you can do it and segue into something beautifully. You know what I'm saying? And then it looks seamless. And they love things like that. So to me, TV, please, way easier. Not even close. It's not even close.
Ooh, that's what's up, man. I'm ready for my close up too, shit. I'm ready.
We know you are.
I'm ready for the movie, man.
You got a face for radio for sure, though.
I got a face for radio. You trying to call me ugly? You trying to throw a shot? Y'all just called that.
I meant TV.
He trying to call me ugly.
I have my notes.
Man, yeah. We go. Hey, man, the teleprompter right there just talk.
Man, that's crazy.
Damn.
But no, thank you so much.
Wait, hold on, man. Hold on. We ain't finna just brush past. He even just shooting shots at me. I've been catching him, man. All right, man.
Makes for a funny podcast.
No,
Very good
for real. You definitely bring that. You bring that. And I feel like you bring that in any platform. And I saw that alone just by scrolling through your Instagram.
Appreciate
like,
that.
Just
I should post more.
Yeah.
I should post more.
Yeah, like the hot tub one was pretty cool.
Oh, the hot tub
That
one.
was-
That was funny. What's funny is that one was like a year ago,
Was it?
but they just posted.
Was it
up
cold
now.
outside?
That day was cold.
I
man.
heard it was. I heard
cold.
you were like 10-degree weather.
Yeah, it was cold. It was cold, but it was
Literally in
dope.
the hot tub.
Because the thing is, because when you're riding down the hot tub in the middle of the winter, this is real. This is a real answer. That all the like the barges are closed or whatever.
Yeah.
So no boats are going through the river at that time.
Right.
So you're literally the only thing on the river, and everybody's freezing cold with coats on, and they're looking at you like, "Who's this dumb?"
What's to them?
Yeah.
You know what
What
I'm
they
saying?
on over there?
Right, exactly. And you're
Down
like,
there.
"What up?"
You cold from here up. You cold from here up, and it's down. You hot.
It's funny, but it's cool. You know, you don't get to experience
Right.
Chicago River like that. So I've done kayaking down the river. I've done
Yeah, I ain't doing all that.
boating down the river. Yeah, it's not my. I wouldn't recommend that one.
I'm not getting on the little less kayak. And I can't swim. No, you tripping.
Oh, well, definitely not.
Yeah, don't do it. You
I'm in there with my life vest like this.
No. I wouldn't even want you to do it to yourself. You and Jado, that'd be a good promo video for the podcast.
For the podcast? What, in a kayak?
Yeah,
You tripping.
Chi-town
Carmen, what
all
you
day.
think? I don't see it.
Carmen, what you think?
She knows that's going viral.
No,
That's
dude,
going
look,
viral.
she's
That's
always
going
got me
viral.
doing all types of dumbass shit, man.
Well,
Man.
She be having me all this. She's that'll fucking, that's right up her alley. Yeah, go ahead, go. No life vest. No life vest. Go sit.
I used to say all the time over here, sometimes you got to just do something, you know? Something. Whatever. it is.
Man, dude.
Might be in the kayak for you. You never know. You never know.
Whatever it is.
I'ma try
Gotta
the
be
kayak.
an attention grabber.
I'm gonna try to get the kayak. All right, we doing a kayak then.
All right.
And then we doing a cipher. Then we doing a cipher.
Let's do that first, cause you so ready.
I'm ready. I don't even know how to
like-
rap, but I'm gonna rap. I rap sandwiches. I keep telling you. I got you though.
All right, y'all. But this was Dope Talk.
This is a dope talk, baby.
Man, Dope Talk podcast. We are back again.
No, we ain't back, man. We leaving. We about to break. She tripping, bro. Let me take over.
No, we back. We
Podcast is
in.
back. We back. We
The
got more
podcast.
episodes.
Yeah, we got
back.
more episodes coming.
Yeah, make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe to our YouTube. Any business inquiries, definitely hit us up
For
on our
real.
Gmail.
And if
DopeTalkPodcast@gmail.com.
you don't know, shoot them. What's your Instagram? Cases?
Chicago_Gabe. Google me, man. Just Google.
Right,
It's
just Google
2025.
Gabe Ramirez.
Gabe Ramirez.
Gabe Ramirez.
Chicago.
Or you can catch him on Fox. You can catch him. You can catch him at the.
I got a lot of jobs, man.
Yeah, you'll catch him up.
love
Or back on B96. You be doing some cameos in there, don't you?
You know what? My last shift was back in December.
It's cool. All right, well, B96, y'all need to get him again. But it's been real. The talk has been real. We appreciate you once again
Yes,
for
thank
being here,
you.
man.
Always,
Thank
man.
you for dropping knowledge on all of us and just sharing your story with us, man. And we definitely gotta have you back.
Got you, bro. Continued success to you,
I
to the
appreciate you, man.
podcast, to you, Jay.
Thank you.
Hope you guys keep doing well.
Thank you, my boy.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, well,
We out.
we out. Where the talk is always real. See you later.